Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
In the not-so-distant future, Earth stood at the precipice of a new frontier. The war between humanity and the Xeranthians, a sophisticated alien race, was at its peak, leaving a trail of destruction across the cosmos. The stars that once twinkled with light now flickered like fading dreams, overshadowed by the echoes of battle and suffering. Captain Alex Reed stood aboard the starship Endeavour, staring into the void of space. The hum of machinery surrounded him, but all he could hear was the thundering of his own heart. Commanding a squadron of elite soldiers, he felt the weight of his mission heavy on his shoulders. The assassination of the Xeranthian leader, Queen Zara. It was a task deemed necessary to curtail the seemingly endless war, a single act that could change the fate of humanity. As the ship hurtled towards the alien stronghold, Alex glanced around at his team. Each member was seasoned, forged in the fires of conflict, yet even they felt the tension in the air. Alex swore he could taste the desperation streaming through the ship, a concoction of fear and determination as they prepared for what lay ahead. The Endeavour shuddered as it penetrated the dense atmosphere of the Xeranthian homeworld. The landscape below was a stark contrast to Earth's beauty. Twisted spires of onyx and crimson rose from the ground, surrounded by fields of luminescent flora that glowed with an unnatural light. It was both mesmerizing and haunting, a world shaped by different laws of nature, and one that had become an emblem of humanity's greatest threat. "Prepare for landing," Alex barked, his voice punctuating the mounting anxiety. His mind raced with countless scenarios. What if they were ambushed? What if the Queen were surrounded by bodyguards? He would need to be at his best, and failure was not an option. Once deployed, the team descended into the heart of the alien fortress, a labyrinth of dark corridors adorned with alien hieroglyphs that spoke of a history both rich and terrifying. Shadows danced along the walls as they moved stealthily, armed with weapons designed for combat in the unforgiving environment of space. At last, they reached the final chamber, a grand hall resonating with an eerie silence. The air thickened, heavy with anticipation. Then she appeared. Queen Zara was a sight to behold, a towering figure enveloped in a gown that shimmered like the night sky, eyes gleaming with the ferocity of a predator. Her presence commanded the room, and for a moment, Alex felt a chill race down his spine. "Human," she spoke, her voice smooth yet thunderous. "You seek to challenge me?" "Absolutely," Alex replied, steeling himself for the confrontation. He straightened, feeling the surge of adrenaline, ready to face what fate had chosen for him. The clash that followed was a whirlwind of energy, both fighters embodying their respective cultures in every strike and parry, exchanging not just blows but philosophies of their worlds. With each move, Alex fought not just for victory but for freedom, for his people, and for a future unmarred by oppression. In a final surge of determination, Alex drew upon every ounce of strength as he unleashed a blow that sent the Queen staggering back. With a swift movement, he landed the decisive strike, and as her form crumpled to the floor, the air exploded with tension and silence. Victorious, yet breathless, Alex stared at the fallen Queen, aware that he stood on the precipice of an unimaginable consequence. The moment hung suspended in time. As Queen Zara's lifeless body fell to the ground, a palpable silence enveloped the chamber. Alex Reed stood over her, heart racing, the weight of victory mingling with the horror of what he had done. This was the end of a fierce battle, yet it felt more like the beginning of an uncharted territory, a land of uncertainty and unforeseen consequences. Without warning, the silence was shattered. Alarms blared throughout the fortress, red lights flashing ominously, illuminating the dark corridors that led deeper into the heart of the alien stronghold. Alex didn't have time to process his victory. The Xeranthian troops would be upon him in seconds. "Team, regroup," he shouted, urgency replacing the adrenaline that had once surged through his veins. His squadron, quick to respond, united with him in a tight formation as they prepared to make their escape. "Captain, we have to go now," one of his soldiers urged, glancing nervously at the door as alien soldiers surged into the hall. The chaos was palpable as enemy forces poured in, weapons at the ready, lethal intent written on their elongated faces. Alex raised his weapon, battling the rising panic that clawed at his chest. He had killed their queen, and now they sought vengeance. "Fall back to the ship," he ordered, leading the charge out of the chamber, his team following close behind. The corridors twisted and turned, a labyrinth of danger as they navigated the chaos in an effort to reach safety. As they sprinted through the stronghold, the echoes of combat erupted behind them. Explosions rattled the walls, and the air crackled with the danger of energy blasts. Alex's heart pounded like a war drum, every beat a reminder of the stakes involved. With each corner they turned, shadows seemed to loom larger, dark figures relentless in their pursuit. They reached the hangar bay, where the Endeavor lay waiting, engines humming like an anxious beast ready to roar to life. But just as they made their way inside, the exit was blocked by a formidable wall of Zaranthian soldiers, their expressions a mixture of fury and grief. "Get on board!" Alex shouted, pushing his team ahead. He raised his weapon, prepared to defend his squad at all costs. The alien soldiers began to advance, and Alex opened fire, each shot echoing like the final notes of a requiem. Despite the chaos, the gravity of what was happening sank in. Killing the queen had meant more than just victory. It was a declaration of war on a civilization that would stop at nothing to reclaim their honor. With unparalleled focus, Alex fought through the waves of attackers, his movements instinctive, yet guided by purpose. He glimpsed the remaining members of his squad securing vital positions aboard the ship, calling him to join them. His fingers danced over the triggers, stripping life from the adversaries attempting to breach their formation. Finally, with one last surge of energy, he pushed through the throng and leapt aboard the Endeavor, collapsing into the nearest seat as the ship's doors sealed shut behind him. "Go!" he yelled to the pilot as the ship shuddered under enemy fire. The engines roared, breaking free from the confines of the alien fortress. As the Endeavor ascended through the atmosphere, the team secured their weapons, faces grim with the realization of their losses and the consequences that awaited them. "Captain, we have a problem," a crew member shouted, eyes wide with disbelief as they rerouted their sensors. "It appears we're getting a data transmission from the Zaranthians. But before she could finish, the screen blared to life with a swirling projection, and suddenly, Queen Zara stood before them, alive, defiant, and majestic. It was a holographic image, a warning of sorts, her calm voice echoing through the ship. "Human, you have defeated me, yet the laws of my people bind you now. As per our ancient tradition, you must take my wives as your own. This is not merely a ceremony. It is a responsibility, a commitment that could unite our worlds. You will face this obligation, or there will be war without end." The weight of her words hung in the air, suffocating and profound. The crew exchanged uneasy glances, unsure of how to process the situation, but Alex felt a different kind of fear bubbling within him, a fear of what this would mean not only for him, but for humanity as a whole. "I didn't intend for this," he whispered under his breath, the reality of the situation dawning on him. Defeating the alien queen had placed a heavy burden on his shoulders, a burden he never sought nor anticipated, and now it seemed there was no escape. The holographic image flickered as Queen Zara's voice echoed in the minds of everyone aboard the Endeavor. "You have 3 days to accept your fate, Captain Alex Reed." With that, the transmission cut off, leaving a heavy silence in its wake. Alex felt as though the walls of the ship were closing in on him. His team turned to him, their expressions a mix of confusion and disbelief. He knew they were thinking what he was too terrified to voice. The implications of her words. He defeated their leader, but now he faced a different kind of battle. "Captain," one of his soldiers, Lieutenant Sarah Wells, broke the silence. "We need to figure out what these laws mean and how to respond. Our lives, Earth's future, it all depends on this." "I know," he replied, taking a deep breath to steady his racing heart. "We'll need intelligence on those wives. If I have to marry them to avoid war, we need to understand who they are." The team quickly set to work, gathering data from the ship's archives on the Zaranthians. As the information flowed in, they created a briefing detailing the lives of the 3 wives of Queen Zara. Lady Callista, a fierce warrior renowned for her prowess on the battlefield. Fabled across the Zaranthian Empire, she had led many critical defensive strikes against human factions. Her loyalty to Zara ran deep, transforming her anger into a weapon of defiance. Lady Isara, a brilliant diplomat known for her wisdom and charisma, she had brokered peace between various Zaranthian factions. Isara's understanding of alien cultures could prove vital, but she also carried the burden of the Queen's death, making her potentially volatile. Lady Nixera, an enigmatic sorceress with the ability to manipulate energy, she was viewed with both reverence and fear. Her mystical powers were said to draw from the very essence of the universe, and she was often considered the Queen's counsel in matters beyond mere political negotiations. "This is going to be complicated," Alex muttered, rubbing his temples as he processed the weight of his new obligations. He was a soldier, not a diplomat, and certainly not a husband to 3 alien queens. As the evening wore on, Alex knew it was crucial to face this head-on. He gathered his team and prepared to suss out the details of meeting the wives. The ship landed discreetly near a Zaranthian enclave, a beautiful biome where nature and alien architecture intertwined in breathtaking harmony. Environmentally bioluminescent flora enveloped the area, casting an ethereal glow that stood in stark contrast to the darkened shadows of the fortresses. "Stay alert," he instructed his team as they exited the ship, remnants of adrenaline still coursing through his veins. As they walked through the enclave, they arrived at an opulent hall, adorned with shimmering patterns that conveyed messages lost to humanity. There, the 3 wives awaited him, regal yet conflicted. Lady Callista was the first to speak, her demeanor fierce yet undeniably alluring. "You, human, have dishonored our queen. You tread on sacred ground." "And yet," Lady Isara interjected with a calm clarity, "we find ourselves bound to you by the laws of our people. We have no choice but to heed the call of the Queen's demise and serve as you would necessitate. So tell us, what will you do, Captain?" Alex felt a bead of sweat trickle down his back. Here were warriors of a civilization he had fought against, standing mere feet away. The weight of responsibility settled upon him. The decision he now faced could alter not just his life, but the very fabric of their worlds. I don't want to fight with you. I want to understand," he stammered, surprised even to himself. "You were loyal to her, and I need you to help me navigate this. This obligation marriage, it seems unreal." A tension passed through the air, each wife processing his words differently. Lady Nixera, silent until now, stepped forward. "It's not just an obligation we face, Alex. You hold the fate of 2 worlds in your hands. Marrying us can either be the catalyst for peace or the harbinger of war. You must decide. Do you embrace this destiny or resist?" Staring into their eyes, he saw pain, loyalty, and a hint of hope flickering beneath the surface. These were not enemies. They were individuals caught in a conflict devoid of their choosing. "We must convene together," Alex declared, determination igniting within him. "I can't do this without your guidance. Teach me your customs. Help me discover how we can turn this obligation into something greater." He could sense their surprise at his willingness to engage, but hope also began to blossom. The women exchanged looks, each contemplating the possibilities. "I accept your proposal, Captain," Lady Isara finally said, a small smile beginning to form. "Let us show you our world and demonstrate how unity can prevail, even from death." With that tentative agreement, Alex felt the dawn of a strange partnership begin to unfold. The journey ahead promised challenges and complexities, but maybe, just maybe, there was a chance for growth amid uncertain foundations. The next few days unfolded like a tapestry, weaving together threads of tension, trepidation, and unexpected moments of connection. Each day with Lady Callista, Lady Isara, and Lady Nixera broadened Alex's understanding of their world, and the gravity of their situation began to take shape. As they gathered within the Zaranthian enclave, each wife brought forth their unique perspectives, allowing him glimpses into their cultures and customs. The meetings were initially strained, filled with sharp words and lingering resentments. "Your people destroyed my home," Callista snapped during one heated debate. "How can you expect us to trust you?" "Trust is earned," Alex replied, grappling with his own frustrations but maintaining a steady tone. "But I am here to show humility. I don't want to violate any more of your traditions." Lady Isara interjected with grace. "Then let us demonstrate our clan's efforts to unify countlessly across generations, even in the face of hardship. Our marriages are not merely about partnership of the bodies, but of the minds and souls." As the sun dipped below the alien skyline, casting a kaleidoscope of colors, they shared stories, a cultural exchange that blended laughter and legitimate inquiries about their customs. They discovered similarities between them, forging an unlikely bond through shared experiences of loss, leadership, and the desire for peace. In one enlightening encounter, Isara led them to a mystical garden, a sanctuary of sorts, bursting with flora that thrummed with life and energy. Swirling patterns danced before their eyes, whispering of age-old wisdom that permeated Earth and Zaranthian cultures alike. "Here, we commune with the energy of life. It is said that only when we open our hearts can we truly understand the depths of connection," Isara explained, guiding Alex through the vibrant landscape. In this serene environment, Alex felt the tension slowly dissipate. Callista, often the most guarded, started to relax, revealing glimpses of warmth beneath her formidable exterior. "Show us your dance, human," Nyxera encouraged softly, her mesmerizing gaze piercing through the layers of his discomfort. "Dance," he echoed, feeling heat rise to his cheeks. "I have no dance to share. I'm not much for rhythm." "Then learn," Callista shot back playfully. "It may save your life one day." Her impish grin broke the tension and coaxed a laugh from Alex, sparking a brief moment of levity amidst the turmoil. Over the coming days, they practiced soft movements in that garden, Alex learning not just the art of dance, but how to match the rhythm of their world to his own. The laughter created a harmonious environment, and barriers began to crumble. Each session challenged him, while simultaneously embracing the unspoken bonds growing between them. But the more he engaged with them, the more Alex found himself grappling with complex emotions. He began to see the wives not just as icons of tradition, but as individuals, rich with histories that shaped who they were. One evening, seated beneath the stars, Lady Nyxera opened up about her connection to the cosmos. "I was taught that the energy we connect to binds us to everything. It is through the essence of existence that our powers flow, allowing us to cultivate relationships with one another." "What about vengeance?" Alex asked, the weight of their situation pressing upon him. "How do you reconcile that with your government's response to my actions?" Callista looked away, eyes glistening under the starry expanse. "Vengeance is a cycle none should bear. It traps us in pain, while understanding breeds strength. We must choose the path to peace together." Her words struck a chord within him. Alex began to understand that forgiveness was not just a matter of erasing the past. It required acknowledging hurt while also choosing a future free of bitterness. Their discussions transpired late into the night, crafting plans for how he could unite forces rather than exacerbate tensions. He sought out Isara, determined to learn the intricacies of Zaranthian diplomacy and discover their methods for negotiation. "I believe we can find common ground," he posed during one session, his heart racing with nervous energy. "Perhaps introducing a council to oversee combined efforts between our peoples would encourage trust." "Perhaps, but you must recognize that tradition weighs heavily on both sides," she cautioned. "Your people see us still as a threat. These feelings of distrust must be laid bare before we can move forward." As they deliberated, Alex found himself looking into her emerald eyes, realizing how profoundly her intellect surpassed his expectations. She was wise beyond her years, deeply invested in her people's future as well. Yet, even as connections flourished, a whisper of fear lingered at the back of his mind. The Zaranthians would not universally accept him or his plans. Centuries of tradition would not dissolve simply because he understood their perspectives. As days ticked away, Whispers of dissent echoed through the enclave, faction leaders voicing concerns regarding the acceptance of a human as a husband to their fallen queen's wives. Alex sensed the clock ticking down, each hour narrowing the window for resolution. "There may be factions that oppose our unity," Callista cautioned one night as they gathered at a round table, concern etched across her brow. "They will stop at nothing to strip this opportunity of peace away. We must be prepared." "I will protect you," Alex vowed, tension sharpening his voice. "I swear that I will not allow anyone to take that away from us." This time, Alex felt a weight lift, as if for the first time he had stepped beyond mere obligation and embraced a cause that could redefine everything. Together, they were forging bonds beyond biological connections, setting the stage for a newfound alliance. But as the sun set on their preparations, the shadows of unrest loomed heavily in the corners of Ether's domain, awaiting the dawn of conflict that could shatter this fragile alliance. The days slipped away like grains of sand as Alex and the three wives prepared for the inevitable, an official mating ceremony that would bind their fates together, not just to solidify peace, but to honor the legacy of Queen Zara. The air was thick with anticipation, but anxiety pulsed as arguments against the union swirled among various factions. In the heart of the enclave, an expansive ceremonial chamber awaited, its walls adorned with luminescent artistry telling tales of love and unity. The atmosphere hummed with energy, charged with the weight of tradition and expectation. As the sun set, Alex stood at the center, clad in ornate attire designed for the occasion, a blend of human and Zaranthian styles. Callista, Isara, and Nyxera joined him, each dressed regal in their own right, embodying their unique essences, strength, wisdom, and mystery. "Today, we unite as partners," Alex proclaimed, standing before assembled dignitaries who had come to witness the ceremony. "I vow to be a mate not just in the physical sense, but as a companion, forging a future where our two worlds remain intertwined in trust and love." The wives stepped forward sequentially, taking their places beside him, each revealing their commitment to this alliance. Callista's fiery gaze ignited the room. "I swear to honor our bond and to fight by your side, as both mate and warrior." Isara's voice soothed the crowd. "I commit to nurture understanding and negotiate peace, ensuring that our alliance flourishes, no matter the trials we may face." Nyxera, ethereal and majestic, closed the circle with her vow. "I dedicate myself to the essence of the universe, binding our fates together. I will protect you and extend the far reach of our connection." As the words hung in the air, the high priest of the Zaranthians moved to perform the ancient binding ritual. He summoned energies, calling forth the ethereal spirits that whispered secrets of the cosmos. Dancers adorned in shimmering fabrics twirled about them, creating a mesmerizing spectacle symbolizing the union of their worlds. In that moment, the wives reached out to Alex, completing the circle of connection. The atmosphere became charged as their hands interlinked, feelings of power coalescing, pulling each of them into an intricate dance representing mating of souls. The high priest chanted ancient verses, marking Alex as their mate, a blend of humanity with Zaranthian prowess. The air pulsed, and as energy engulfed them, Alex felt the intoxicating thrill of connection, a bond formed through desire, duty, and burgeoning love. The crowd erupted into applause, celebrating the union. Even those once skeptical began to feel hope arise within them. "I will not let you down," Alex whispered to his three wives, feeling the magnitude of what they would face ahead washing over him. "Together, we will rewrite the very fabric of our worlds." As the ceremony concluded, they knew the true challenge awaited them: to navigate your roles not just as political entities, but as partners, mates. Each kiss shared was both a promise and a declaration, laying the foundation for a future forged in a fragile but hopeful alliance. In the aftermath of the mating ceremony, Alex and his wives faced continued resistance. Determined to solidify their alliance, they organized forums to bridge understanding between the human and Zaranthian factions. They showcased their union, emphasizing that their mating was not just a bond of ownership but a partnership built on mutual respect and love. As they shared cultural festivals and invited leaders to witness their collaboration, hope began to flourish. Alex felt invigorated by their shared purpose, watching his wives shine individually while also growing closer as a family. The tension of their previous struggles started to ease as they worked to create a joint path forward. The newly formed council met to discuss the unfolding situation, where Alex and his wife stood united in front of both human and Zeranthian leaders. Despite their hard work, opposition lingered, with voices rising against the idea of a human as a mate to the Zeranthian queens. Alex took a bold stand, proclaiming, "Our union through mating signifies strength, not submission. Together, we can shape a better future." His wives stepped forward, supporting his resolve, Callista with her fierce spirit, Isara with her wisdom, and Nyxera with her energy. As they collectively spoke of the potential of their partnership and shared dreams, the atmosphere shifted, igniting a renewed sense of hope within the chamber. With a majority vote, Alex's union was acknowledged, allowing their mixed council to pave the way for peace at last. With the alliance formalized, Alex and his wives actively engaged in creating a legacy that honored their shared commitment. They fostered community exchanges, celebrating their mating not just as an obligation, but as a symbol of empowerment, a blending that transformed their worlds through understanding and love. Together, they hosted events showcasing both cultures, and Alex felt the warmth of their connections deepen as they discovered new ways to support each other, both as mates and partners in governance. Under the stars one night, reflecting on their journey, Alex took his wife's hands. "We've built something beautiful together," he said, brimming with gratitude. "With the universe as our witness," they echoed, sealing their love anew. Their bond transcended their distinct heritages, united in the pursuit of peace, an eternal legacy forged from a once impossible union that would resonate for generations.